John Moffat was the key developer of the North Queensland base metal mining industry. It was in the Cairns hinterland, and because he had a fantastic ability of obtaining the control of the mines, they started off as prospects, he became the monopoly holder of the mineral prospects which became mines. He had no competitors because he had sufficient capital, and Moffat had obtained the best mines, the best ore deposits, and he then developed them. He really had no competitors because he had the ability to control the assets, that is the mining leases, of the whole region. Now, the general public and the mining industry was very satisfied with that, and so were the politicians in George Street, because it brought immigrants and population to the Cairns hinterland. The base metals that John Moffat controlled were tin, silver, lead, zinc, wolfram, molybdenum, bismuth, antimony. In North Queensland, he controlled the coal industry. He did extract some gold from Chillagoe. The scale of Moffat's business, mining business chiefly, was across the whole of the Cairns hinterland, approximately to 300 kilometres west of Cairns and 200 kilometres southwest of Cairns, down to Ravenshoe, Mount Garnet, and up to Mount Mulligan in the north. He also had investments in southern Queensland, and he also had investments around the Daintree in order to grow sugar, and he had further timber investments at Ravenshoe area and Evelyn Station just east of Atherton. He, through his private company, Glen Smelting Company, and then the Irvinbank Mining Company, totally controlled the financial management of the mines. He was a visionary. He was brilliant at managing his own capital. He was brilliant at seeing opportunities in the mining industry. He trusted his managers. Trust was very important, and one of the successes of his whole empire was that the people trusted him. The other characteristic is that Moffat was brilliant in bringing a business to successful fruition, starting with in a small way and then making it successful. And what's really important is that contemporaneously, Moffat was respected by mining directors and business people in other colonies and states. What Moffat achieved was to get the shares of the Mount Albion Silver Mining Company and the Glenlynedale and the Oberlin Tin Company at Glenlynedale on the London Stock Exchange. He then sold his vendor shares. He had a colossal return, and Moffat effectively became a millionaire. Moffat is known to have retained full employment at Irvinbank and other mines such as Cabura and Muldiva, where he had very large labour force. One of the things that Moffat did was utilise the family relationships in order to build a coherent community. He had a very strong religious belief. He was a Swedenborgian. It is a belief in the relationship between the Holy Spirit of God and the whole of the earthly landscape. So his belief through the Swedenborgian Church, the Christian faith, was central, a core value for him in life. Moffat was a great pioneering colonist of Queensland. His major investments were in the north, but he also had investments at Stanthorpe and Brisbane and other mining areas, such as he developed the Cloncurry field, early 20th century. The thing about Moffat was that he could control a whole region of the colony, and he did that through his financial and managerial skill and work ethic, and he was never defeated by people who thought they would be competitors. John Moffat was one of the greatest businessmen in the history of North Queensland. He was the mining magnate of North Australia throughout his career, which was really from 1875 in mining through to 1918 when he died. He would have controlled upwards of 100 companies, and he did that as a director, shareholder, trustee, managing director and promoter. I would place John Moffat in the top 5 of business people in Queensland from 1880 to the end of World War I.